Hello, my name is Jorge Treviño Garza, and this is my review of Love, Death, and Robots. I chose the episode of Snow in the Desert. So the first question asks us to list characteristics, three positive characteristics that are very human and we can see in the characters throughout the whole episode. The first characteristic I picked was curiosity because I think that human beings are very curious. We like to know what is going on. Like, I feel like that is our nature. The second characteristic I put was argumentative. I feel like we see this with in this particular image that I decided to put in this diapositiva because I think that it reminded me a lot of like going to shopping. Like you talk to the person that's selling you in order to maybe get a better deal or something similar like that. I think that is a very human characteristic. The third positive characteristic I chose was looking for survival because most of these like characters in this episode they are just trying to survive, like trying to not die basically. And I think that is something very human. Like we, as much as life can get hard sometimes, we still look for survival. Okay, now the negative characteristics that I identified. First of all, most characters are like a bit distrustful of others. They don't trust each other. They are constantly thinking that the other person will harm them or yeah. I got that vibe from most of the characters that they don't trust each other. They are also a bit apathetic. They lack empathy. Um, for example, the bounty hunters, they want to kill Snow. Well, they want to harm Snow without, of course, without thinking about his well-being. They don't care about him. They just want the bounty, basically. They are also very aggressive. You know, again, I'm gonna use the same scene as the last diapositiva. For example, when Snow is asking the other guy to give him something, I'm not sure what it was, but he was being very aggressive, very blunt, very straightforward. Um, yeah. Okay, so the next question will be the relationship between body and self. I thought it was very interesting because neither Snow or Gerald are um, like 100% human beings when it comes to their bodies, because Snow on one hand is immoral and Gerald is synthetic. I thought that was very interesting because it showed that regardless of their bodies, they still have very human feelings and thoughts and values. I thought that was very interesting that even though Snow and Hera don't have 100% human bodies, they still have very human personalities. The next question will be if I consider that Hera is still a human being. I do think she is still somehow a human being because even though her body is a bit different because it is synthetic, she still has a lot of human values. I think the main difference to be able to recognize a human being is if it differs from animals, because animals have very different thoughts and ways of processing information than humans. And I think that Hira, of course, very obviously is very different than an animal. She thinks things through. Um, she feels like empathy and curiosity and kindness. I think those things are like still very human. Okay, so the next question will be, why do I think Snow keeps going, basically? I think the reason he keeps going is because he appreciates the value that life has. I thought his character was very interesting because um, his character really shows like how valuable life is. You know, um, I feel like that is the reason that he keeps going, is because he sees value in life and he realizes that, you know, the moment that basically basically the most valuable thing in his life is his life itself. Like the moment his regenerative organs stop working, he eventually dies. That's gonna be the end of it. Like there's not much to it. There's really nothing else he cares about other than his life. And I thought that was very interesting. Now the last question is related to the quotes that Snow and Herald exchange with each other about AI. First of all, Snow says something about morality is a human construct. So he doesn't see why AI will care about that. Then Huriel says that they were created to protect the greater good. My reaction to these lines was that I thought it was a bit of a contradiction because morality on one hand is personal and ethics on the other hand are um, from a community. And I think that if you care for the greater good of humanity, you will prefer, or it is more, it is better for you to choose ethics as your method to make decisions, because morality, something that I think is a bit dangerous about morality is that it is very, very personal, and maybe what my morals tell me is good or bad may not be the same what of the morals of another person, of what they think is bad or good. And I feel like that can create a lot of conflict when with the ethics. I feel like it is more easy to, like Hiral said, to protect the greater good. Thank you. That will be all from me.